Can you imagine if there would have been no change, if we were still driving around in covered wagons and women were going in tents to bleed for a week? My God, I'm happy things have changed. Hi guys, I'm Silvia Saige. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Sexy, Funny, Raw. And this week's episode, I'm going to be bringing you the 10 biggest fears that people have in this world and how you can conquer them. So, let's begin.
Mark me down as scared and horny.
Turns out people have a huge fear of judgment, being judged by others. Well, if anybody knows anything about being judged, I'd say it's me. I went from working a normal job in corporate America to trying my hand in stand-up comedy and eventually landing myself in pornography. So yeah, I know a thing or two about judgment, but I think the biggest thing that you need to learn about the judgment of others is that people really don't care what you have going on in your life. As much as we like to think that they do, as much as we think other people are really vested in what we have going on in our personal lives, they just don't. People are very invested in themselves and in their family. And if what you're doing doesn't directly impact them, they probably don't care what you're doing. So once you can get past that and stop judging yourself based on what you think others want to see you as, and you just start living as your true self, I can promise you, you're gonna feel a lot less judgment.
Careful, Mr. Henry. Right now, you're only being charged with armed robbery.
I didn't rob nobody. I didn't rob no bank, okay? I don't want everyone in here thinking I'm some kind of bank robber, okay? I don't need the money. I'm a drug dealer.
People fear getting hurt. Now, I don't know if they technically mean getting physically hurt or getting emotionally hurt, or hell, even spiritually hurt. I feel like God let me down a time or two before I stopped believing in him, you know? But what I will say is, if you're worried about physically getting hurt or emotionally getting hurt, those are unnecessary worries. Because yeah, you could get in a car accident, you could be walking down the sidewalk and a tree branch could fall down on top of you. But if you're constantly living in the land of what if, you're not going to be living in the land of right now. You're not going to be enjoying your life for the moments that are happening to you. You're going to be worried about the moments that might happen to you. And the same with getting hurt in a relationship. Honestly, being lonely is tough. So even if you're going to go out and you're gonna meet new people and maybe they do let you down, at least you went out there and you were trying and you were putting your feelings out there and attempting to connect to somebody else. Look, 9 times out of 10, that connection isn't going to work. But on the one time it does work, it's going to be worth it. So I say stop worrying about the what ifs and get out there and do the right nows. Or do that somebody right now. Why not? People have a fear of something bad happening to them. That's rational. That's the same as what we were just talking about, where a tree might fall down on top of you while you're walking. Yeah, things could happen bad all the time. A building just collapsed on people who were just happily sitting in their apartment, maybe making lunch for their kids or their dogs. It's possible. Bad things happen every day. But if you keep a positive mindset and you're just constantly doing things to try to avoid the negatives and make positives in your life, I think a lot less bad things will happen to you. I don't know, guys. I believe in karma. And if you're doing good into the world, not nearly as much bad is going to come back on you. And when the bad does come, you'll be prepared for it. And you'll be ready to take it on.
Class is in session. Who wants to see a double flip?
Too high!
No, this was a mistake. I can't let go. I'm too scared.
Fear of uncertainty. I get that. I mean, there is no promises in this life. There's no promise that you'll make it onto the football team that you wanted to be on. There's no promise that you're going to make it tomorrow. There's no promise that this glass of wine won't somehow make me sick. There are so many things that are uncertain in our world. And once again, we can't bother ourselves with the what ifs. We just have to live in the right now. A fear of rejection. This is one that I feel like everyone feels, but especially here in Hollywood. You're getting rejected left and right. There's always someone who is younger, someone who is newer, has a fresher look, has new jokes, or will do whatever you're willing to do for cheaper. There's a lot of rejection in this world, whether that come from our parents, whether that come from our siblings, or whether it come from someone you are trying to know and they're rejecting you before you even get started. This is going to happen, but it's not going to stop you from living your life, is it? Look at rejection as just one step closer to where you're actually supposed to be going. As you're going down your path, different doors may be opening, but if those doors are closing right in your face, it's pretty clear that that's not the direction you're going to need to go. So just go to the yeses. Don't worry about the no's. You're gonna get a lot of no's, but it's going to make the yeses that much more amazing. A fear of failure. Again, this is an internal struggle that everyone has. The most successful person, Usain Bolt, may have felt that he wasn't going to be the fastest man on earth. I have a fear of failing at everything I do, but I can't let that be the main chorus that plays in my head. The main chorus that plays in my head is just how awesome I am and how I am going to change the world and how I am capable of anything that I want to do. Your own personal mantra is the mantra that's going to follow you around. So if you think failure is inevitable, then it probably is. But if you think success is your only way out, well then, you're probably right too. Just saying. You can make your own destiny, people. Believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, and I believe you can do it.
This one's for Dylan and Megan and Sarah and Dylan. Nothing but that. Do over!
A fear of loneliness. Now, this is one you'd think I'd be able to relate to. I've been single for 14 years, you guys. Loneliness is a thing, but if you surround yourself with activities that make you happy, you're bound to meet other people just like you. I'll go and hike and I meet other people along hiking trails who also enjoy hiking. I'll go to a bar because, well, I enjoy drinking, and I'll find other people who also enjoy drinking. A fear of loneliness is just a fear in general. All you need to do is get out there and meet people and learn to be lonely. If you don't have the ability to get out and go meet people, and during quarantine, none of us did, so you had to be able to fall in love with yourself. That should be the first thing anyone does. Falling in love with yourself is just going to make it that much easier for someone else to fall in love with you. And if you're already in love with yourself and you're having a great little party, which I do every day, then you just can't be lonely. I'm partying with myself. Fuck yeah. And lastly, people are afraid of change. And what's the only thing we know to be true in this life is that everything changes. So why would we fear the one thing that is the most certain? We fear anything being different than it already is. But look at how far we've come. Can you imagine if there would have been no change, if we were still driving around in covered wagons and women were going in tents to bleed for a week? My God, I'm happy things have changed. Thank you, internet. Thank you for allowing me to not be able to leave my home and still make a living. Thank you, change. Thank you for letting me grow up and buy myself some boobies. Thank you, change.
Look.
Jesus, look at the size of it. What has she done?
Holy shit.
Heinemann told me that he took the money I gave him, the $1,500, and gave it to his daughter and didn't tell me why. He said she needed it for something. I paid for those things.
You paid for those giant fake titties.
Embrace the change. It's not always going to be pleasant, but it may always lead you somewhere new and fascinating. Embrace it and learn to live with it because it's not going anywhere. And guys, if these things weren't enough fear for you and you're looking for a little bit more fear in your life, well, I've got the perfect antidote for you. This fall, I'll be making Bundy Manor, a new horror film which will be coming out in 2022. So head to bundymanormovie.com and let me know your fears. I'll see you there. That's it for today, guys. So if you like what you saw, click subscribe. And until next time, adios, guys.